Welcome to Sipping with Maria and Tika G. We got to pay these bills, so let go. Here's a word from our sponsors. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosted on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more.
It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free.
Whoop whoop!
Boop! Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started
Today. Welcome to Sipping with Maria and Tika G, where we do not talk about politics, religion, or celebrities. We feel like there are enough blogs, and other podcasts that talk about that stuff. So go ahead, get the glass of whatever you drink, get comfortable, and get ready to listen to Sipping with Maria and Tika G. Now, our first season, which is season 1, is about relationships. We picked this title because it's something everyone can relate to. We're not just talking about couples. We're talking about all types of relationships. The in-laws relationships, the brother and sister relationships, the friends with benefits relationships, the husband and wife, the cousins relationships. The list goes on and on. Now, we do know everybody's different and everybody have their own opinion to each question that we have had on the show. Now, before we get into the show, I want to acknowledge that it is Black History Month, and I want to talk about Miss Sarah Elizabeth Good. She was an American entrepreneur, an inventor. She was the second known African American woman to receive a United States patent, which she received in 1885. Now, what did she invent? Sarah Good invented a folding cabinet bed, which helped people who lived in tight housing to efficiently utilize their limited living space. How cool is that? Shout out to you, Miss Good. Now, next, our topic for this episode, excuse me, is what causes conflict between siblings. And as you all know, Tika got all the tea when it comes to the questions. Hi, Tika.
Hey, Maria G.
How are you doing?
I am doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good. Trying not to catch a cold.
Girl, these colds are just trying to catch us. Oh.
Amen. Yes. So,
Well,
what answers do you have for us this week for what causes conflicts between siblings?
well, let me tell you, some people was letting some stuff off their chest this week. It was, and pretty much people were saying, don't just talk about jealousy, talk about things like an umbrella, if you will. Like jealousy is at the top and then there's an umbrella. And I said, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So they said under that umbrella is competition. People told me their stories about their siblings constantly being in competition with each other from pretty much when they were very, very young enough to know, I guess, what competition was or not. They said it's just kind of something that they don't believe that their parents stopped or addressed. So the competition became heavy and has continued, who has the bigger house. And then if someone does have the larger home, is like, oh, okay, look at them. Look at you living. Couldn't even help out your brother or sister or nothing. You just living. Got the 5-bedroom house, and but they said, what the sibling doesn't know, the siblings don't know, is just because you are a sibling does not mean that your brother and sister has to carry you on their back and
Exactly.
5-bedroom house too.
And that's what I was going to bring up. Just because I'm doing good, we were raised up in the same household, we had the same opportunities. Just because it looks like, let's say, I'm doing better than you, now it's a competition thing. Just because you called me and told me you need me for A, B, C, and D, you have to take in consideration, now I have a family, I have a husband, I have a wife. I can't just, okay, you need this, I can just, no, now I have to consult with my partner. It's not, and no, they don't have anything to do with my decision. It's called common courtesy, because I would want you to come consult to me too. Because if I don't know what's going on, and let's say somebody have a conversation, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna give you that money you loaned me for the to get that truck out the shop. I'm looking at you like, what money to get the truck out the shop? And we short on our end on our bills. So yeah,
Correct.
siblings have to understand, parents too, that just because I'm well off doesn't mean I don't owe you anything. We have the
Correct.
same opportunity. So yeah, I just want to throw that in
And,
there.
and I'm glad that you brought that up with the money, because someone had mentioned that in their answers. They said money. They said, of course anybody could have arguments over money, but this person felt like the largest argument has been with his siblings over money, not him not being able to give the money at the time and the siblings getting mad, or the siblings saying, I promise I'm gonna pay you back, and then they never do. So then there's years and years of just giving out money. And he said it's caused a lot of arguments. It has caused a lot of family get-togethers going wrong. It has caused a lot of not showing up for the family get-togethers because not even wanting to interact with the siblings.
That's me.
And he said it's very straining because the parents or people that are in I guess looking at it from the outside in said, oh come on, y'all need to get over it. But he said he doesn't need to get over it. He said it's common sense, pay somebody back if they loan you some money. And it's also common sense of not to constantly ask for the money every chance you get. You're just begging.
Right, because people think because you're my sibling, if I borrow money from you, I don't got to pay you back. And that's not the case, because if I go to my parents and borrow money from them, I have to pay them back with interest.
Right.
Right. So there is no thing is given. Now, I have to stick on a new thing where if I can't spare it, I'm not loaning it. Because now I loan with, I don't expect to get it back. So when I do get it back, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Especially when you loan somebody some money and they on Facebook popping bottles and stuff, and you hitting them up trying to get your money back, and they ain't got it. But that's a story for another show. But yeah, sibling rivalry. How about when the parent, use myself as an example. Everybody knows that originally I'm the only child, and I was raised in foster homes, in and out of foster homes or whatever. And how about when you are the oldest daughter, may not be biological, but you're the oldest daughter, and let's say you're 26 and their child at the time is only 15. So the parent is gearing towards you because you are older. I won't say 26, 23, because my son was, let me see, I had him when I was 20. How old is Kalajuan? 22. Okay, between 23 24. So let's just say, okay, your daughter is 15, so she's not old enough to hang with you and do things. So we're hanging together like, you see her, you see me. But then your biological child becomes of age where she can hang out with you and you can do the same things that you were doing with me.
Right.
Now, am I wrong for feeling some type of way because you didn't push me out the way now? So
it does lead to where people, the answer that I received the most was parents appearing as if they have pushed off one child for the other one.
Right. Especially
and that was really answered, like people were really telling us about how they even felt growing up until now. And then how they felt that the parents said, no, you're isolating yourself. And then, she told her parents, no, you isolated me.
I can relate to that.
I didn't isolate myself.
I can relate to that.
So, and not feeling like you are part of the family. And, like this one person, she told me, I had the black sheep mentality.
Been there.
I felt like I was the black sheep, and she was like, and still am the black sheep of the family, and not treated the same. She said, please do not get it wrong, that there are cliques within a family structure.
Oh yes, indeed.
And she said some people were like, oh please, you family.
Yes, it's the hell does that mean?
And she said, right. She said, because you're just individuals that are born into that family or are having some sort of family environment,
right? And then when you have that clique,
same just because you're a so-called family,
right? And I can relate because I don't go to the family functions for what? For you to sit in the corner and talk about me or try to talk about me. And see, people,
right.
My family know how I am, so it ain't gonna be too much talking about me while I'm there. They're gonna say everything when I'm gone because they know I tear some shit up. I'm gonna tear it up. Right. So they not gonna do too much of that in front of me. But why put myself in that situation to feel uncomfortable when I know, yeah, you're supposed to be my mother, yeah, you're supposed to be my sister, yeah, you're supposed to be my aunt. But when I'm not here, y'all talk about me like a dog. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm here, yes. How you doing? How you been? Da-da-da. I've been living in the same spot for 11 damn years.
Right.
If you wanted to see how good I was doing, you could not. You know where I live at. You know my phone number. So yes, I have experienced being the black sheep of the family. Not being invited to events. Don't find out about anything until after it. Or you see somebody in the store. Well, I was at your mama's house one. Why weren't you at the cookout? What cookout?
Yeah, right.
Ain't nobody called to tell me nothing. Oh, we asked about you. She said you had to work. Work where? I'm an entrepreneur. Work from home. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the being the black sheep, and then you don't even know what it is, what's going on. Oh my goodness, why are we talking about this? I had someone let me listen to a recording, okay, of somebody that was supposed to be I heard the recording. And they don't know I heard the recording. I just fuck with them from a distance right now because you're supposed to be my family.
Right.
And you said this about me. Word? Now, the type of person I am, I got dirt on so many people. I can be a millionaire. But I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to use what I got on you to get what I want from you. I'm not gonna get mad at you. I'm not gonna put your business. I know stuff right now that can get a whole bunch of people on my damn page locked up. and people that's not on my page. But I'm not like you. I'm not gonna throw you up under the bus every chance I get. But every chance you get, you're gonna throw me up under the bus. And we supposed to be family. What the fuck does that mean? They said blood thicker than water. I disagree.
Right.
Yeah,
right. And I tell people, I just got into this situation. I didn't choose. I didn't choose the situation. I didn't choose you guys to be my family, and things like that. So when there are arguments and things like that, I don't have to, I guess people have to understand that you don't have to side with a family member.
Right, you don't, and I don't.
When they did wrong about something.
I don't. And my son can vouch for that. If you wrong, you wrong. And I'm gonna tell you you wrong, especially if somebody's reputation is I'm not about to let you mess up this person's reputation because you're mad. Well, did you know they said this or that about you? I don't want to hear it. You should have told me about it then.
Right.
I don't, I'm not about to allow you to mess up somebody's reputation because you mad. It doesn't work like that. And back to the sibling rivalry, like I was in a foster home and it was me and another young lady in the foster home, and she did get more praise than I did because she looked so much like the foster mother. Everybody really thought that was her child. So the favoritism was more to her. It was to the point that me and the girl can be sitting right next to each other. I can call and say, "Ma, I need such and such and such. I ain't got it." I can hang up the phone with her. She can call her right behind me and say she needs the same exact thing, and she'll ask, "When you want, you gonna come get it?" You know what I'm saying? So it's the black sheep and the rivalry is freaking real. Even though I never threw her up under the bus, I never talked bad about her, even though I can. But I have been in, it seemed like every situation I end up being the black sheep of that family. So when I turned 17 and got emancipated, I'm sorry, I had my baby when I said 16 and a half. When I turned 16, I got emancipated, got my own crib and lived my own life. So the black sheep, the rivalry, the parents putting the kids against each other, because it happens. Actually, I was watching something on television where the mom, she had two sons. One son was very successful, and the other son was more of he was a little needy. And but he wasn't the needy where he had to come to his family all the time to borrow money. He was more of a simple life type of guy. Yeah, my family got money, but so what? He didn't use his family name to get clout. He did everything on his own. While the other brother that is so successful used mommy and daddy's money. He didn't do anything on his own. And I figure, I thought, well, the child that wants to do everything his own, you would figure there'll be the child that they will be more towards, but the mother was more towards the child that was more successful versus the child that didn't ask them for anything. Even though they were trust fund babies, it was more of the guy didn't touch the money at all. He was leaving the money for his future family, his future kids or whatever. But he worked from the ground up to make things happen, and they still wasn't satisfied. Oh, why are you wearing those raggedy clothes? Your brother here just flew in from Europe, or everything has to be so extravagant. So she went more towards that one because that son was in a position where he can take care of her, versus the other child that couldn't financially take care of her. Not knowing how your son got the way got what he got. So people you just have to be open-minded because it's real. The rivalry of the siblings is real. The parents guarantee they got that favorite child, and then that favorite child turns out to be the reason why you ain't got nothing, because your favorite child done bled you dry. You done power of attorney and everything, and now you have nothing, and they just, girl, we can talk about this all day.
We could talk about it all. We could talk about it all night, and the fact that people were sharing with me, that they have felt, left out since childhood, or they don't get along with their siblings at all, or and it just made me be like, wow, the level of family, families that are not talking to each other and things like that is this very high. It's at a high level of that going on. People are getting support from whatever they may be doing. Some people are doing a career change or wanting to get another degree or things like that, and they're saying that the support from siblings is not there where you would think that would be.
I'm glad you brought that up.
You would think that would be the number one cheerleaders.
I'm glad you brought that up because
strangers.
And you are right. I support my sibling, or I did support them. However, when it comes to LorraineMaria.com, Hampton Communications LLC, My Kitchen 757, Sipping with Maria and Tika G, this is me. You know,
yes.
Nobody helped me do. The only person shot out everything that I have ever did, every project that I have ever done. There is one person. I don't care if I wanted to sell a damn horseshoe to a horse.
Right.
She is my number one supporter, Kimberla. Shout out to Kimberla the boss. That is my number one supporter. I don't care what I do. I don't care.
Yes. Shout out to Kimberla.
Everything. Yeah.
Shout out to Kimberla, because people, it is rare that people are just supporting and things like that. Some people are supporting and some people are sitting back waiting for you to fail.
Right.
But that does include family members.
And then it's sad.
Yeah, it does.
True story. I was working at West and I was working at AJ Wright. I worked at AJ Wright during the day and I worked at West overnight, so I had the weekends off of both jobs. Now, I had just started working at West Telemarketing. I was in a foster home, and this is with the young lady who looks like our foster mother or whatever.
Yes.
Do you know them mother truckers and I had to long walk at night. Nobody wouldn't take me to work or pick me up. Everybody was too tired. Okay. Then I got a promotion at West in less than, because you had to do the 90-day probation. When my 90-day probation was up, I automatically got promoted to a supervisor. Do you know my foster mom was like, I slept with the supervisor, my boss. That's how I got the position.
Wow.
It wasn't the hard work. It wasn't that you busting your ass. Right. Do you know how that made me feel? And then my foster sister husband had made a comment to me. It's just, people could just be so cruel. He made a comment that, what did he say? I wasn't marriage material and I wasn't going to be good enough to just be making a whole bunch of babies. I said, joke's on y'all, because y'all the one with all the kids.
Right.
And I'm not married because I choose not to be. I like my life. I don't need a piece of paper.
Correct. And someone had wrote to me, and it made me really also think about the question as well, when they said that their sibling is in a horrible relationship, being abused physically and mentally. She tried to intervene with her sister, and with, I guess, the damage, with the abuse has been done, and the sister did not make the decision to leave this person. She made a decision to stay, but to stay, she had to alienate her sister. She stopped talking to her sister, and so the person that was writing to me said that this one hurts. She said it hurts deep that she has a niece that she's not a part of her life, and she has a sister that she's not a part of her life just because of a man. And the man said,
It
You're
happens.
going to, yeah, you're gonna have to be with me and forget about your sister. And she said, and she did it.
Yep.
And
And it's sad but true that there are situations and siblings who do go through that stuff. You have to choose between your family or your partner, and it should never be that way, because at the
right,
end of the day, I may not see you every day, we may not hang every day or anything like that. I'm not, and just because you're my family member, I'm not going to choose you either, because I'm that type
right.
of person. This ain't got shit to do with me. I'll leave y'all there arguing with each other.
Hmm.
Because I'm gonna take myself away from the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've been in that situation actually with a sibling, I guess, where they felt that I was jealous of their relationship. And it wasn't that I was jealous, it was just that what she was going through, I've been there.
Right.
And I seen the signs. And I'm like, it's not a good look for you, sis. You need to fall back, I seen this before. You just jealous cause you're single. He do this for me and do that for me and da 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 da. And I'm like, that's really not the case. I'm your sister, I love you. I'm just looking out for your best interest. I'm telling you it's because I know something that you don't know. So
Right.
I'm letting this dude this ain't a good look.
No,
You need to let that go.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
No, you jealous and da da da. You know what? I fell back. And she and I we don't talk like we used to. We used to talk, man, when my sister was going through stuff, we used to talk all the time. All the
Wow.
time. We don't talk like we used to talk. None of my sisters, well, none of my foster sisters, I don't talk to none of them. We don't talk to each other. And it's okay.
Oh, wow.
That's one thing I always wanted. I wish I could have had some biological siblings. Being the only child has its ups and downs. The down part was I couldn't blame nothing on nobody.
Correct.
Ain't nobody here but me and you.
Yes, cannot blame anything on anybody. Yes,
No.
that is very true.
So that was that. So, I mean,
Someone said, what about constantly being put down by your siblings to the
oh
point where
yes.
you don't even want to talk to them at all because they make you feel so bad, they make you feel depressed. And I said, wow, that was that's a serious one, getting put down. Like it's like you're being bullied in a family,
Right. And then on top of that, I can agree with that.
Yeah, but and it's sad, like the person that they're explaining themselves as constantly being depressed. They want, they don't want to be constantly put down for, and they said that is no way to communicate with anybody, to constantly put them down.
Been there before.
Yeah, and I just think that when people were writing to me, it's kind of like you can feel the frustration and telling their answers, because they do want some sort of relationship,
Right.
but it's just not there. So I feel that like you and I have talked about things before on this podcast. Nothing should be forced.
No, not at all. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing should be forced, and I just need you to treat me like you would want me to treat you. Don't keep I just don't like the. I don't treat my kids different. My I am closer than I am to the other one, but that's because I didn't raise the youngest one.
Okay.
So, but that's still my child. I don't treat him any different from what I treat my oldest one.
Okay.
So,
And that's good. They see that you, even though they're two different people, that you do love them.
I don't love them no different.
Right.
So,
And yes, because I think that families don't understand that. They don't understand that you don't have to all be the same, and you don't have to all be doing the same things, but you can still love each other.
right. It's okay to be different. It is
Yeah,
definitely.
it is okay. But that, to me, that's what makes up a good family. You guys are just all different, and could vibe off of each other. And I just feel like, hey, it's some of the stories were like, wow, I guess I just wasn't expecting people to really want to really hit home with it, that they were just going to kind of just give a blanket statement like, oh, this is,
Right.
people were really sharing their story,
On how about the sibling rivalry and everything. It's and I do agree with that parents do show favoritism. You have the mama's boy, you have the daddy's little girl, you have daddy's big man. You got mom's little princess, So it's sad but true. And sometimes parents do it knowingly on purpose. I think so, because it's crazy on how I'm sitting right next to my sister and I call you and you give me a bullshit ass story, and she can call right after me and it's done.
Yes. So, how do you feel about siblings having a mediator? And the reason why I asked that is because someone did ask me that. They said that was, one of their response was short, but it was, I guess, more so trying to say, what if I need a mediator? So a neutral person to help me out with the relationship with my sibling. And, they said they felt like they would want to go that route. Would you try different things? Or do you think that's, what someone should be doing, trying different things to have some sort of relationship with their siblings?
How can I put this? I feel when you bring somebody else involved, whether you know that person or not, it causes more problems in that relationship. What I talk to you about is what I talk to you about. But if I had, it's because it's different. To me, I just feel like it brings more tension. Before I answer that question, Tika, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest for the evening. Dana.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Dana, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi. As you know, tonight.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
So tonight's topic is what causes conflict between siblings, and you know this topic also well, so we want to hear from you.
Well, I am the eldest of 3 girls, and for a while I was the only girl, the only child. But the conflict came in when my mother started showing favoritism, and that me and the middle girl had started having conflict with the baby girl because she was considered to be my mother's favorite. Then as the two youngest got older, instead of me and the middle girl being favored, now is the two youngest is being favored. And it's like my mother is so hard on me even right now. But the conflict is she babies the two youngest ones, not really seeing that I'm not the one that she needs to be hard on. The two youngest, we grow separate. We're adults, and even with their adulthood, that should have been something I would rather my mother consider, instead of being so hard on me. It was more of a conflict. That's the conflict from my end. It's just the favoritism with my mother.
So, with that favoritism being between your mother and your siblings, how did it affect your relationship with your siblings? Like, are y'all fighting more? Are y'all not able to talk about your situation? Like Tika asked me before you came into the show, her question was, someone asked if a mediator, somebody who didn't know the two siblings, would that help the situation? What is your opinion on that? Can you answer that question?
As of today, I have no relationship with my two sisters. I have more relationship with the middle child, with her children, than I do with her. As far as a mediator coming in, I don't think that would solve anything, because at the end of the day, we are all adults.
I agree.
If we're not able to talk out our differences and understand why the other person feels the way they feel, then we might as well not call ourselves adults. That's something that, children or teenagers or young adults will have to go. We're way past grown. We have kids of our own.
And that was my next question. Like, when your nieces and nephews see their mom and sister fighting, always going at it, how does that make you feel? Does that affect you in any way, that your nieces and nephews and your daughter and sons are seeing you and your sisters always going at it?
Well, I try to be the person to walk away. I don't care about the last word. So I give them that. However they feel, whatever they need to get out, I give them that. But as far as the children, I will not have that type of disrespectfulness in front of the kids at all, because we are supposed to be examples for them. And if they see us acting fool, why not, who's to say, well, you're trying to teach me how not to act, but y'all act the same. My son is the first grand that's born. He will be turning 26 next month. Then the youngest from him is 14, which is the middle girl older daughter. And then the baby girl, she has a 13-year-old. So with those three ages, there's no way. I'm still the oldest, but I'm going to enforce my upbringing from my grandmother, my teachings with my nieces and my nephews, plus my son. He's grown, and just like I say, at the age of 17, that mommy, no, we're not doing that. You're grown now, remember?
Right.
That cord has been cut at an early age. So I'm more stern with the kids. I enforce education. I enforce being that example. I can't tell my sisters how to carry themselves, but I can be that example that I'm trying to instill in my own child, with my own 6-year-old daughter, plus with my niece, to be ladies, to be respectful of yourselves, and with the boys to be gentlemen, to be respectful of yourselves and women. Always, regardless of what goes on between the adults, you always keep that respect and keep your own opinion about that person. Don't go off somebody else's feelings.
I can agree with that as well. A lot of times, children tend to mimic what they see,
Mhm.
and how things are acted out, and that can be a problem. Now, have you seen any of your nieces or nephews act out towards each other like you and your sister act out towards each other?
Yes. My sister is now doing the same thing, the very same thing, the favoritism. She has a total of 6 kids, and the three
Wow.
eldest girls, um, is that favoritism. But that 14-year-old is catching the brunt of the mother's favoritism because she's having to step in and be mother as well. And the 14-year-old, I love my niece dearly, but I had to let her know that's still your mother. We're not perfect. We learn just like y'all learn every day. Accept her faults, but understand she's learning as well. I have to talk to her like that. I don't never dog my sister about any decisions that she has made. Definitely not with the kids.
Right.
But I just need them to understand you still be there for your mother. You still respect your mother.
So do you think that it's hard for her to still respect the mother? Because I had to ask my own family members that because there's so many of them on my mom's side, and when my grandmother had said things like, "Oh, so and so has always been my favorite," and so without even a blink of an eye, and she said that the most difficult thing is to have to respect somebody after they say that, because she basically feels like nothing after that. Like she feels like what's the point after that of me still trying to fake this relationship here? So
well, being the baby of my generation and my grandmother, I was my grandmother's baby. So I can say, all right, Maria. I can say I can say yes. It can take a toll, can take effect on that, of that personality, of the person's personality. But it depends on that person that's looking at it. Use that as strength.
And see, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Me and Dana are cousins. We are first cousins. Our mothers are sisters. Dana is my very first best friend that I ever had in the world. We have not seen each other in 30 years. But you would think that we see each other every day. She lives in Texas. I'm here in Virginia.
Okay, hey Texas. Okay.
Everybody knew that Dana was grandmother's favorite. Everybody knew that Dana was a brat. Dana was a tattletale. However, that did not affect me and her relationship. So I guess it depends on who it is. We knew she was spoiled and she was telling on us.
I was the smallest out of everybody, literally the smallest. I was always too small to go somewhere, too small to do this, too small to do this. And I can go outside on the park with them and, we got to watch out for Dana. So y'all made me feel like a little baby.
You act like it.
Yes, y'all made me, whatever. Y'all made me feel like a little baby. But I can say now, I miss my cousin. Being in another state and not being around them within my adulthood, I can honestly say they never let anything happen to me. They watched out for me, and I learned from each one of them. Each one of them. So yeah, they teased me. I used to get put in the closet, tied up, and everything. I used to be left outside
because she was a snitch.
Oh,
my cousin even scratched a Nike sign on my cheek.
oh my God.
That is terrible.
Yeah, Maria, you did it. So yeah, I had to go to school with a Nike sign on my face. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I can look back and say I learned from each one of them, and they gave me that strength I needed, even though I was the youngest. They gave me that strength I needed to be a fighter, to be headstrong, to be able to not take nothing from nobody, to speak my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, we learned that from Nicole. Sheesh.
So again, it goes back to that strength, that person's mental capability, and your mental capability goes right along with your strength, and you being the person that you can stand up to be and say, no, that's not right. I'm not gonna do that.
And see, I don't like that sibling rivalry thing. This is my thing. If I got a sister or a brother, ain't no rivalry. We going down together. We be nasty together.
Mm-hmm.
We won. Period. And I just I wish that my siblings and I that I have adopted, I wish that we were close like we were when we were younger. Now they can't call me and I don't call them. But they know they can't call me. For situations that happen within the family. I love my family. I go hard for my family. But when it comes to my kids, that's out the door. When it comes to my kids, fuck the family when it comes to maturing.
Mm-hmm.
If a family member did something to want to mature, fuck you.
That's not a family. That's not a family member. That's
hell no.
You done made an enemy out of me. You done made an enemy.
Yeah.
You done
When it
crossed
comes
that line.
Hell yeah.
Because,
So when it comes to my babies, and that includes my fur babies and my fur nephews that Tika got.
Yes, the fur nephews.
That includes
I'm telling Mika.
Her
I'm
too.
telling Mika, you counted her out.
Mika too. Mika, my fur cousin. Like, I don't play. Let me tell you something. Let something happen to one of my daggone churn. I don't give a damn.
You know what? Hold on. I'm talking about the puppies and dogs and stuff. You left me out. I should feel some type of way on that one too.
Nah, you still family. You automatic, girl. But everybody, it's just certain. But when it comes, all jokes aside, when it comes to my churn, I don't care how old they is. I can be 98 years old. My son can be in his 80s. I'm on the damn way. In my hover ram. I am coming.
I might roll up with you, but I'm right there. Mimi.
Shoot, I don't play when it comes to my kids. So when that a topic for another day. What's the soul food? Family. I let the family in the house and the family fuck my husband. Fuck family.
And you know what? But that movie, it kind of reminds us of our family, like the close knit that we had before our grandmother closed her eyes.
Yeah,
we were close. Now once my sister, left, it's just everybody it's just you know how your fingers just spread out. That's just how it is. Everybody just spread it out and lost contact with each other.
Yeah, it was like it felt like the family was only dealing with each other because grandma was alive.
Yeah. And you would find that in a lot of homes, especially when, people are sharing their stories and talking, and you find that they always say when grandma passed or something, it changed the whole dynamic. And if I know for me, it was my great grandmother. It just changed. Just everything was just shifted, and it just everything became negative. Like No one was getting along anymore. It was just like everything. I felt like everything
Everybody
was
for themselves.
Yes.
It was that family dynamic was gone. Like it never existed. So we still have, certain members of our family that try to, keep in contact with everybody and, try to organize family reunions, but it's hard because we are now so spread out over the states. Some of us in different countries now. And it's hard. But as far as me being the youngest, it's like I'm hanging on to that. I can't let it go because that was the last thing that my grandmother always told me, always instilled for me, your family. So for me, it's that aspect, and I instill that in my 6-year-old now. Even though that the situation between me and my sister, I will never, they can come to me and say, look, I messed up. I need you to show me something or help me with something. I'm gonna give you some static. Trust me. I'm gonna get in your behind about it.
Right.
And I'm gonna make you, look, you gonna put in work on it. But I will not do it for you. You're gonna have to show me you're able to do it on your own for yourself, because it's not for me, it's for you. And that, a lot of with my two sisters, that's what they got used to. Dana is Miss Fix. Call Dana. My mom is so quick to tell my sisters, call Dana. Dana got a life of her own now. Dana need to live for herself now.
Right.
So it starts. For me, I can honestly say by experience, it started with the favoritism.
Yeah, and that's very heavy. That favoritism, and sometimes it's just so in your face, and you're just like, wow, is this what you're doing? So, and you do want to have good relationships with your family, your siblings, and sometimes it's just not that way.
Not at all.
Oh, I am so sorry. Mika is going off.
Hey, Mika.
Rude.
She had those puppies in that living room, and they out walking around that living room now. So yeah, I don't care. Somebody can go next door. She own it now.
Yeah, she's like, It's like, let me go handle this.
My little one need a bath. He smelled like somebody peed on him. What in the world? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. You smell like somebody peed on you.
Don't do him. Don't tell his business like that. He ain't able to bark back at you.
Yes, do not tell his business. That's what I'm talking about. That favoritism, because you didn't say it to the other baby.
Because the other baby don't smell like somebody peed on him. Well, moving forward. This is one of those topics that was actually a good topic. And then y'all know Tika, the question person. Everybody answer your questions. I only have like one person answer when I do it. That's why you in charge of getting all the answers to the question. So let's go ahead and do a ooh, I'm losing my voice, y'all. I'm sorry. A recap. A recap on what we're talking about. Again, this is season 1. This season about relationships. We picked this season, this topic because it's something everyone can relate to. We're not just talking about husband and wife relationships. We're talking about the parent-child relationship, the in-laws relationships, the brothers and sisters relationships. It goes on and on. Our topic started off with, how long should you date before moving in together? The answers that we got for that question was great. They were funny. Of course, Tika had all the answers, and the men was on it.
Yes.
They were on it. Episode 2 was, what is the reasonable time to date before marriage? That was actually the follow-up question. Again, the men took over. The answers to those questions were great. Now, number 3 was a little sensitive. for a lot of people. And I want to thank our guest that we had on the show for episode 3. How do you cope and not lose yourself after a breakup? And my, oh my, we got your break things. You go out with your new boo. You go hang out with your girls. You cry about it. And we all handle our breakups different. Another one that we had was episode 4. I'm sorry. Should a person defend his or her partner against insults from their family? That was a good one also, because it's not, we were talking about just partner as in girlfriend, boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend. We were talking about partner as in also your friend. If I take somebody with me somewhere, you with me. So I'm not about to let somebody disrespect you. You're with me. So the other one was episode 5, which was last week. Is the relationship over after the proposal? After a failed proposal? Why or why not? And everybody said, yeah.
Yes, everybody was like, yeah.
Yes, the relationship is over after the failed proposal. Like, yo,
They were like, awkward.
I mean, if the proposal don't work, what makes you think the relationship will work?
Yes, but some people still try to make it work. So it works for others.
Hopeless romantic.
And Dana, some people were like, you should just be. I guess you should be at an understanding of where your relationship is. Like, if you are about to propose, you should already know.
That would be something that you should have an understanding before that proposal.
She gonna say yes or he gonna say yes. And our topic for today, which is episode 6, what causes conflict between siblings? We have our special guest Dana on the line, and she explained to us how it did affect her relationship with her siblings as well with her mother by showing favoritism. And she has nieces and nephews that goes through that, and she has to instill in them that your mother is not perfect, she's still learning. So Dana, with that being said,
don't call my name like that. Don't call my name like that. That is just ugly.
With that being said, can you please do our conclusion on what causes conflict between siblings?
Well, Miss Maria, I would think from my experience, the conclusion would be favoritism from the parents. Parents, sometimes they're not aware they're showing favoritism. And some of them do boldly, just do it in front outright. But that can be a big conflict, to the children. And that can be the rivalry and leads to the distance between the children and the grandkids, the cousins, so forth, so on.
Correct. I do agree.
I agree with all of that. This has been another episode of Sipping with Maria and Tika G, where we do not talk about politics, religions, or celebrities. Again, we feel that there are enough blogs, and other podcasts that talk about that stuff. Come hang out with us every Thursday at 8 p.m. We look forward to your listening ear. So get whatever glass or whatever you drink. Y'all know I got my Moscato. Shout out to Oak Leaf. Catch them at Walmart.
I got my Sonic.
Catch them at Walmart.
I got my Sonic Route 44 strawberry slush.
I'm drinking a red wine of Malvasia.
Oh.
Yeah.
I need to be over there with you.
Yes. Come on, David.
So again.
And I can't believe, I cannot believe this is episode 6.
Yes. This is
my
episode
God.
6.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We're at the halfway mark. Whoop, 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 whoop. So we look forward to your listening ear on Sipping with Maria and Tika G every Thursday at 8 p.m. Drop us a line at www.sippingwithmaria3, Tika, TIKAGEE.com. You can find us on Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Matter of fact, Google us, baby. Everything will pull up. We want to hear from you all. If y'all have anything you want to talk about, you want to be on the show, you want to hear your little voice on the show, go to our Ether page. You can go to Anchor. You can leave a voicemail there, or you can go to our website. There's a purple microphone at the bottom right hand of the corner. Leave a message. We'll get it. We'll play it on the show. Thank you again for listening to Sipping with Maria and Tika G. Catch us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.